The fake fertilizer syndicate and ravaging doctors' strike have put the two cabinet secretaries in charge of two of the two dockets in trouble with the public. And I think the crowd that chanted anti-Mithika heckling in Maua yesterday over that fertilizer syndicate is a very clear sign that if the public is more informed and more charged on ills of Kenya Kwanza administration, they can be a very stubborn group in 2027. And the ground will become very hostile for Kenya Kwanza just because of those two. I want to explain that and want us to get deep to understand how really it came to be. But before we get into that, I am reminding you about our April project. These women you are seeing here are 50, just a sample, but we have 50 elderly old women from Kano. Kano is known for floods, so kuna shida ya flooding huko. What normally happens is even some houses were even swept, and you know the situation is not normally very good, especially after those flooding. So these women have been supported. They were being supported by one of us, member of this channel here, and ndio maana unaona wamebeba hizo maunga, but it has not been enough. If you look at these photos, some of them are even sick. In fact, they're living in very deplorable conditions. There is even no mattress or no kitanda, and they're really even weak. What we decided that amongst all the other proposals, we settled to support, to do a mission in Kano on 13th as our April project. That is why I'm reaching on behalf of them to you, that let's support this. If you do a contribution as little of 100 or 50, I believe kidogo kidogo ujaza kibaba. By the time we'll be getting to Friday, we'll be able to get a budget of around 150,000 so that we can bring it home and be able to support them. For those who are listening to this for the first time, in 2 months we pick one project. The last project we did, we raised I think around 200,000. It was in the tune of 200,000 to discharge 15 women from Amalusi Hospital. Now this time round, we are going to support these women with a budget of around 150,000. So we need to buy the mattresses, food, the blankets, and other assortments. So we're gonna be there on Saturday, and those who will be around, you can also join us if you come from that area of Kano. So let's support this so that we'll be able to do our April project. Now, I want you to watch this video.
Tunaambiwa inaongozwa na waziri wa kilimo, si kweli? Na tunaambiwa hii cartel inapatia wizara ya kilimo pesa ambayo nimeweka letoa, si kweli? Alafu anapatia, si kweli? Alafu Goja.
This is a video, and the speaker was talking about, I think, the issues of fertilizer, and probably mentioned Mithika. But somewhere from the crowd, they were shouting, they started singing anti-Mithika songs, Mithika Linturi songs. Why? The whole thing is about the fertilizer. The whole thing is about the fertilizer. And very interesting, why this fertilizer thing to me is a bit, you know why I said, I think I've analyzed this fertilizer syndicate for long. But I said, much as the government is standing in a high-line denial on their involvement, or rather the existence of fake fertilizers, the public cannot be convinced by that narrative. I was so categorical here, I said, the public will not buy the story that Azimio are the ones that are selling that fertilizer, or are the ones that want to spoil the name of the subsidy program. I said, I will repeat, the public were not going to buy it. Why? They're not going to buy it because government itself came out to own up that indeed there was a problem. And you may want to listen to this story. This story was published, was done by government spokesperson's office.
Zaidi, malalamishi kuhusu mbolea gushi tayari imefikia serikali na maafisa wa idara ya upelelezi DCI wanaendeleza uchunguzi na hatua kali itachukuliwa dhidi ya wakora wanaotapeli wakulima. Hata hivyo, serikali bado inaendeleza harakati ya kusajili wakulima zaidi ya milioni 6.4 ili kufaidika na mbolea, shughuli ambayo imechangia kushuka kwa bei ya unga humu nchini, ikiwa lengo kuu ya serikali ya Kenya ni kukuza uchumi kwa 7.2 ifikapo mwaka wa 2027 kama ilivyo kwenye ruwaza ya The Bottom Up.
Kama kuna mtu yoyote ambaye atapatikana anahusikana na jambo hili, atachukuliwa hatua, kwa sababu sio vizuri kuwahadaa wa Kenya. Hata ukipatiwa zabuni ya serikali lazima wafikie vile viwango ambavyo vimewekwa katika zabuni ile, ndiposa tusiwe na mambo ambayo yanaweza kuwaathiri wa Kenya.
We have imported over 4 million bags of fertilizer. So only 50,000 we got a crooked supplier. Just the way you have a few people here in prison. So out of the many suppliers who are given, only one with only 50,000 bags brought something that is not acceptable. But if you look at the percentage, it's actually negligible. We are not saying it is right, it is very wrong, it's unacceptable. And our security and investigative agencies have swung into action, and people will go to court. But those 50,000 bags cannot interfere with our food security because the percentage is little.
Themselves, they came out and owned up about it. However, they twisted it. Not even twisted. And I said when the complaint started, I said they'll get someone. So someone who works with NCPB, I think is a supplier, has a partnership with NCPB, was blamed as the person that sold that fake fertilizer. And not even fake fertilizer. He was blamed for the whole thing, and one man was sacrificed. Until I saw that man coming out in media to complain that his name is being crucified in public, but his hands are clean.
The company I started in 2022, where I had an agency contract with NCPB, and again I had another contract with KFA, and other aggravates. And since then, I'm the one who have been paying NCPB. I'm the same person who have been paying KFA and other aggravates. I've been doing that. So when I heard that I've been receiving money from subsidy, that's not the right thing. I've been paying the government, I've been paying the parastatal, and we have been doing clean business from there. And I've been having problems with cabs. The problem I've been having in cabs, I told them I do organic silk, and it's 70%. And what they load organic only. But I told them, it's silk organic. So I don't know what have been happening, but I have done all those things. They passed the fertilizer. I've been selling for the last 2 years. No farmer, even at National Cereal Board, have complained to us. So we know, and I know, there's a lot of people there, they're not happy, whatever I'm doing. And that's why we call our company SBL Innovate. We have been innovating new things, and they're not happy about that. And they are just putting all the blame on SBL, which is not right. We have had other companies, who have been selling soil and all that, but they're not talking about it. What they're talking about, they're just talking about SBL.
The whole thing looks scripted. And that is what I'm saying. Even this, for these people who follow the Bible, I said, the Azimio team need to be very careful, because with the narrative that someone is already doing it outside NCPB stores, anything can be done. And this was created. And as that was going on, elsewhere, Kenny, a member of parliament, who is a very close ally of Rigathi Gachagua, is also asking for the sacking of Nakhumicha over doctor strike. I want to absolve Nakhumicha. William Ruto has spoken. The problem is not Nakhumicha. The problem is William Ruto and the team believe they don't have the money to pay the doctors. And Nakhumicha doesn't have that money. He's not the person holding that money. The person that is supposed to ask Treasury, make a call to Treasury to release that money, is the president. The president has declined. Now, I'm interested in the heckling, because why is the public not buying the propaganda narrative? I've seen President Mithika Lenturi even dismissed John Allan Namu, who first did the story about the fake fertilizer. But despite all that, why this is what the depiction of this is very dangerous, because, and I wanted to get it keenly, the reason why Ruto picked majority of his cabinet, of some cabinet members in the Mount Kenya, is because they were supposed to be used as bait traps, vote traps. Like, we are involved in government, so we've picked someone in charge of agriculture, and Mira, and the others, the Mira, and coffee and tea is agriculture, with this is Mount Kenya. And I've always been seeing, even Uhuru Kenyatta picked agriculture CS from Mount Kenya. I've always, I don't know, I've seen that trend when Mwangi Kiunjiro was agriculture CS before he was fired, and then was replaced by Peter Bunya, but he decided to take it to Meru, and that is why even William Ruto had no option but to drop it to Meru and picked Mithika Linturi. If the public are revolting against the CS who comes from that region, there's one point here that you can just see. They don't feel that the government is taking care of their agriculture. That's it. Despite of all this, the government is not taking care of their agriculture, despite of them having that CS. Number two, intelligence should tell the president from the word go, the fellows that are singing there, I've seen they have managed to supply 2.1 million bags, even though they were targeting 10 million bags. They will not tell you about those figures. You read around, you will see. They were targeting 10 million bags this planting season. They have supplied 2.1. That's what the president has said. So, what the other interpretation of that heckling is that they are not appreciating that subsidy program. What am I saying? The Kenya Kwanza have been saying, because of subsidy program, there's so many dividends that we've got as a country. increased food basket. Farmers are now going to the bank, smiling because there is money and all that. One thing this says is that the subsidy program is not being felt down there. Even if there will be a problem, and I've seen, the reason I'm saying is, they've been trying to tell the farmers that you make sure you go and pick those fertilizers. It's working. Clearly, they're not feeling it. Number 3, they don't trust that fertilizer, despite of government assurance. Skindiki should, Mithika should just accept that. The farmers don't trust it. And in fact, let me tell you, the people that do agriculture for small scale are so keen. Leave alone the large scale guys. The large scale guys are not called. The large scale guys have the right fertilizer. Because wow, someone who does it for business must not depend. Akirealize ameenda in CPB na hizo stores kunaweza kuwa na fake fertilizer, hata hizi chukua. But wao hawapewi hiyo fake. Wanapewa wale small scale traders. So the hustler in this fertilizer subsidy does not trust that fertilizer, despite of the assurance from the minister and the state officers that that fertilizer is in a good standard. Thank you.